Shirley Temple Biography. Shirley Temple, 1928 to 2014, was an American child actress, singer, and dancer who became one of the most iconic and popular child stars in the world during the 1930s. Known for her curly hair, dimples, and charming singing and dancing skills, Temple captured the hearts of Depression-era audiences with her optimistic and heartwarming performances. She made her film debut at the age of 3 and quickly rose to fame with a series of hits produced by 20th Century Fox. Beyond her childhood career, Temple continued to work in film and television into her teenage years before retiring from acting in the late 1940s. Later in life, she became a diplomat, serving as U.S. ambassador to Ghana and Czechoslovakia. Her enduring legacy is reflected in the continued popularity of her films and the cultural iconography surrounding her persona. Film details and synopses. 1. The Little Colonel, 1935. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, David Butler. Key cast: Shirley Temple as Lloyd Sherman, the Little Colonel. Lionel Barrymore as Colonel Lloyd. Evelyn Venable as Elizabeth Lloyd Sherman. Bill Bojangles Robinson as Walker. Synopsis. Set in the post-Civil War American South, young Lloyd Sherman travels with her mother to live near her estranged grandfather, Colonel Lloyd, a proud and stubborn former Confederate officer. Through her innocent charm and resilience, Lloyd helps mend the broken family bonds, eventually thawing the Colonel's cold heart. The film is noted for its portrayal of race relations for the era, as well as for the legendary stair dance between Temple and Bill Robinson, marking the first interracial dance pairing in American film. Songs: Polly Wolly Doodle. Love's Young Dream. Interesting Connections. First of 4 films pairing Shirley Temple and Bill Robinson. The staircase tap dance became iconic and was recreated in later Temple-Robinson pairings. 2. Curly Top, 1935. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, Irving Cummings. Key cast: Shirley Temple as Elizabeth Blair, Curly Top. John Bowles as Edward Morgan. Rochelle Hudson as Mary Blair. Synopsis. Elizabeth Blair and her older sister Mary live in an orphanage where Elizabeth's antics often get them in trouble. Wealthy benefactor Edward Morgan, charmed by Elizabeth's spirit, adopts the girls, sparking a series of misunderstandings as Mary and Edward develop feelings for each other. Elizabeth brings joy and chaos into their lives with her songs and mischief, ultimately helping the pair find happiness. Songs: Animal Crackers in My Soup. Curly Top. Interesting Connections. Animal Crackers in My Soup became one of Temple's signature songs. The film strengthened Temple's image as the ideal Depression-era child star, wholesome, plucky, and charming. 3. Poor Little Rich Girl, 1936. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, Irving Cummings. Key cast: Shirley Temple as Barbara Barry. Alice Faye as Jerry Dolan. Jack Haley as Jimmy Dolan. Gloria Stewart as Margaret Allen. Synopsis. Barbara Barry, the lonely daughter of a wealthy soap magnate, feels neglected by her busy father. After an accident leads her to be separated from her household, she finds herself in the care of entertainers Jerry and Jimmy Dolan. Barbara becomes the star of their radio show, while her father and his assistant search for her, unaware of her newfound happiness. In the end, family and fame are reconciled in a joyful reunion. Songs: When I'm With You. You've Gotta Eat Your Spinach, Baby. Interesting Connections. Temple performs with Alice Faye and Jack Haley, stars known for their musical talents. The film blends musical comedy with family drama, a format that became a Temple staple. 4. Wee Willie Winkie, 1937. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, John Ford. Key cast: Shirley Temple as Priscilla Williams, Wee Willie Winkie. Victor McLaglen as Sergeant Macduff. C. Aubrey Smith as Colonel Williams. June Lang as Joyce Williams. Synopsis. Set on the British colonial frontier in India, Priscilla Williams travels with her mother to join her grandfather at a remote military outpost. Nicknamed Wee Willie Winkie by the soldiers, she becomes a favorite among them, particularly tough Sergeant McDuff. When political tensions rise, Priscilla's innocence and bravery help avert a crisis and bring understanding between conflicting sides. Songs. Auld Lang Syne, sung by Temple in a poignant moment. Interesting connections. Directed by acclaimed filmmaker John Ford, marking Temple's most serious and dramatic role. Victor McLaglen, known for his collaborations with Ford, brings a rough edge to the film's sentimental narrative. 5. Heidi, 1937. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, Alan Dwan. Key cast. Shirley Temple as Heidi. Gene Hersholt as grandfather, Adolf Kramer. Marcia May Jones as Clara Cece Mann. Mary Nash as Fräulein Rottenmeier. Synopsis. Based on Johanna Spyri's classic novel, Heidi is an orphan sent to live with her gruff grandfather in the Swiss Alps. Her innocence and warmth soften his heart, but she is later taken away to Frankfurt to be a companion to a crippled girl, Clara. Heidi's longing for home and her positive spirit help Clara walk again and lead to a joyful return to the Alps. Songs. In Our Little Wooden Shoes. Silent Night, sung in German by Temple. Interesting connections. Gene Hersholt became known for humanitarian work, later inspiring the Hersholt Humanitarian Award. One of Temple's most enduring performances, blending fairy tale innocence with heartfelt emotion. 6. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, 1938. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, Alan Dwan. Key cast. Shirley Temple as Rebecca Winstead. Randolph Scott as Tony Kent. Gloria Stewart as Gwen Warren. Jack Haley as Orville Smithers. Synopsis. In this loose adaptation of Kate Douglas Wiggins' novel, Rebecca Winstead is an orphan living with her grumpy aunt. She accidentally stumbles into a radio audition, impressing singer Tony Kent, who makes her a star. Confusion and misunderstandings follow, but Rebecca's charm helps the adults in her life find love and happiness. Songs. An Old Straw Hat. Come and Get Your Happiness. Interesting connections. Gloria Stewart, Temple's co-star, would later gain fame as the older Rose in Titanic, 1997. The film was more of a musical comedy than a strict adaptation, reflecting Temple's versatility in radio and film formats. 7. Just Around the Corner, 1938. Studio, 20th Century Fox. Director, Irving Cummings. Key cast. Shirley Temple as Penny Hale. Joan Davis as Kitty. Charles Farrell as Jeff Hale. Amanda Duff as Lola Ramsby. Synopsis. During the Great Depression, Penny Hale's once wealthy father loses everything and is forced to work as a janitor. Penny refuses to believe they are poor and leads a campaign to help her father get back on his feet. Along the way, she brings together eccentric characters to organize a real estate deal that helps restore hope and prosperity. Songs. Be Optimistic. I'm a Little Bit Fonder of You. Interesting connections. One of Temple's last films focusing directly on Depression-era optimism. Charles Farrell was a former silent film star making the transition into talkies and supporting roles. You're watching Starship TV. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for joining us today.